Hold up. Wait a minute. Whose music equipment is that? That's yours. And who was with you when you were developing your sound? All that time, all those hours, days, weeks, years to develop the sound that you got? Come on now. So how in the hell are you going to let somebody influence your style? Nah, not me, buddy.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys comment, and please turn on those post notifications so you would know the next time I have another video available. And at the end of this video, hit that thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, just go ahead and hit that thumbs down, because I really don't care. Okay, I'm not condemning constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is actually a very good thing if you're talking to somebody that's like an industry professional or somebody that can really help you out in the long run. Like somebody who's like a musical genius or somebody who is really respected that has done a lot of things. I'm not saying don't listen to them, but what I am saying is don't listen to somebody who is completely trying to get you to copy somebody else. I just can't get with that. I don't understand it. People come to you because they like your style. They like the way you create music. They like the way you create your beats. They like the way you might do mixes. They come to you for your specific style of music. So how are you gonna let somebody influence you that way? I remember back in the day when I was first making beats, there used to be guys coming to me all the time like, yo, Bolo, your beats are dope, but can you make me this style of beat from this type of producer? And I'm like, huh? Bro, nah, this is me. You came to me because you like my style of beats, not because I'm trying to copy somebody else's stuff. If you want to go to them, go to them, but don't come to me. But that's what's happening a lot today. A lot of young artists, young producers, you guys are trying to copy something that you do not have to copy. Some of the biggest producers in the world have their own style. That's what makes them special. That's what makes them stick out from the crowd. And believe it or not, they've had a lot of problems getting to that point. Not one producer that I've ever talked to that is like sold millions of records has ever said that from my first beat, it was just all glory. And a lot of artists that I know that have been very successful has said that they went through some of the worst times ever trying to make it to that point because they didn't want to switch up. They didn't want to change for somebody because they want to be as authentic as possible. Now, of course, when sometimes you might sign to a major record label, they might give you, a few little guidelines for a certain artist. But at the end of the day, if you know this artist might like this type of style, do what you do best and maybe infuse a few things, but don't just go and just copy a whole thing. Don't let nobody put that much pressure on you to where you feel like you have to copy a certain style. Now, don't get me wrong. Every year, the music thing kind of sways and you got to kind of stay within the wave of things. You got to stay on the train, because if you don't get on the train, you're going to get left. But even though that a lot of the stuff sounds similar right now, you can still tell the producers who really stick out and who really make the best music right now. We all know it's a lot of trap style stuff going on right now, and everything pretty much has the same snares and kicks, but it's just some people who do just amazing melodies and some people who just does amazing drum patterns that you just say, man, that's dope. Now that's something new. And you can tell over time they kind of hone their skills up to that point to where they can be really kind of like game changers. Like every time I hear a beat from my homeboy Honorable Sino, I just sit and I just put my head in my face. I'm like, this dude is amazing. He's amazing. And I sit at his house sometimes with him and he'll play some beats that haven't even came out yet. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. But then I'll listen to some other tracks and I'll see people using like his drum rolls and snare rolls and the way he does his hi-hats and stuff. Me and him discussed it a little bit. It's a little biting going on out there. But at the end of the day, he's a very humble guy. But there's a lot of biting for my boy. He's one of my favorite producers, and he's a very good friend of mine. But that's what's going on. People are kind of pressured to do certain things like that, but there's no pressure. If you really want to be the best in this game, you have to stick out. But you have to stick out in a good way. Now, there's a lot of people that stick out, but it's not a good way. It's actually quite terrible. But if you can really stick out and hone your skills to a style to where people look at it as being accepted and something that nobody has really never heard before. I'm telling you, it's gonna be an uphill battle, but when you get to the top, it's gonna just, everything is gonna come for you. Like, I'm telling you, like even me, my style is very simple, it's very kiddish, because I do a lot of stuff for kids and that's what they like. And I kind of stay in between that, but you know, I've done other styles before, but it was still my thing. With all of my records, you could still tell it was my thing. I wasn't really copying anybody because I have my own lane and it's worked for me. And a lot of people come to me because they want to experiment with certain things because I like to experiment with things. You got to think of some of the innovators of like this whole music thing. Look at the Neptunes. Look at Pharrell and Chad. Like, their sound was so innovative at that time that nobody else sound like them. Look at Timbaland. Oh my goodness, when Timbaland sound, when he really became like the guy, oh my goodness, it was no sound like that. And to think, they're all from Virginia, you know what I'm saying? And they really turned the game upside down by just the way they produce and the sounds and everything because they were willing to take chances. Look at Polo the Don when he first came out. Look at Dr. Dre. Look at RZA. Look at producers like Tim and Bob back in the day when they were doing all the R&B stuff. And you know, the list can just go on and on and on for like top producers. Look at Manny Fresh, what he did. You know what I'm saying? Look at Beats by the Pound or what they did. You know, look at people like Bangladesh. All these producers were producers who just really like changed the game. And there's so many more. Oh, and especially my boy DJ Toomp. He, with T.I., and the stuff he did with Tip, oh my goodness, that was incredible. And the stuff he did with Jay-Z too. And I just love talking to Toomp because he'll give me so many great stories. And as soon as I got the phone with Toomp, I just want to go and just make some beats. But that's the good thing about it. Everybody I said, you can almost turn on a track and know that it's them that produced it. You can say, that sounds like a Toomp beat. That sounds like a Manny Fresh. That sounds like a Timbaland. You know, that sounds like a Dre beat. I mean, it's just incredible how even through all of that, those producers just stand out. And that's the way you need to be. Don't let nobody influence you into trying to copy somebody else, because all it's going to be is a quick check. You get your money, and then they're just going to go to the next person because they can just keep copying stuff. And even for you songwriters, don't try to copy somebody else's style. Try to do something different. Try to talk about different subjects or put words in different ways and do something like that. And become you. Become that great lyricist, that great musician that can change this whole game, because it can be you. It can be you. If you just do what you want to do, have fun with what you're doing, and even have fun even when people tell you no. That's the way I got to this point, and this is the way you can get there too. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I was saying. I hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.